Good day, beloveds. Such a beautiful, blessed day we have. It's raining, it's wet all over the place. I know it causes inconvenience sometimes, but we need to be thankful for everything. Today, I want to talk about a topic that it has been my philosophy in my life. Even though sometimes I stumble on it, even sometimes I get impatient, but it has pulled me through so many times. When I remember those words, that motto that I always live by. And I thank God for my mother, because she always told me that if I'm grumbling and I'm not happy about something from a very young age, one thing you need to know is that your time will come. Your time may not be now. You may be in a position of frustration. You may be in a position of you want certain things and they're not happening the way you wish them to happen. I want you to remember that your time is coming. I've never seen, I'm a believer, as much as I'm not a saint, but I'm a believer in God and what His word stands for and how His word come to life. And I've never seen anywhere where He shows that there's a time frame for us. He puts limit, there's the age limit for us to reach certain things. I've not seen anywhere when I'm reading His word where He put limitations to us when we can have certain things, when we can stop dreaming. In fact, He never wants us to stop dreaming. That's why we have faith. Faith makes us dream and to hold on. Today, I want to tell you that your time is coming. You might feel that you've been working for so long. You don't have a house of your own. You are renting. You may feel that you have, age is you are getting older and you are comparing yourself to your peers, and maybe your peers they seem to have it all. But one thing you must know, you came here alone and your race is yours alone, and your circumstances are different from anybody else. So never compete with yourself. Compete with the goals that you set to yourself. And in that competition, ask God to give you patience on yourself, so you don't end up taking the shortcuts because you are impatient with yourself. I think most of us, we get ourselves in trouble. We get ourselves in a mess because we want our time to be now when our time is not now. What is important is that when you're waiting for your time, you need to position yourself. Bazalwane, positioning yourself is so crucial in our lives than what we ever think of. And we take it for granted. And unfortunately, most of us, we live for survival. Most of us, we live for the now. We don't necessarily sit and strategize. I remember having a conversation with a friend of mine, talking about parents who take their kids to expensive schools and all that. And we were saying, some will say it's a waste of money. But there are certain schools where when parents take their children there, the children end up networking. The parents end up networking. When there are children's parents meetings, sports day and everything, that is a platform where parents network. You find those schools when a child, before they end up finishing the school, already there are connections that are made because they were positioned to take certain jobs. They were positioned to be at a favorable position. But we live our lives without thinking that positioning ourselves as strategy, it is important. When you position yourself and having strategy, it doesn't mean it's going to happen now. But at the end of the day, it's going to happen. You may find yourself that you are living from paycheck to paycheck. One thing I can tell you, mntwana sekhaya, pay your debts, pay your little debts. You finish your little debts, you go to bigger debts. If with no time you find yourself that you have made so much improvement in your financial position, cut down on unnecessary things that you don't need. Cut down on those hairstyles that you love and you like to be beautiful. Cut down on those manicure and pedicure that you feel that you need to feel good as a woman. You don't have to feel good. You don't have to do your nails at the salon and everything to feel good as a woman. I'm not saying those things are not important, but I'm saying prioritize things and be focused and put a target market, a target for time frame. Some of you are sitting there, you are thinking you've never been married. You need a life partner. Or you never had a stable relationship which showed direction. But have you asked yourself, have you looked at the kind of people that you date? You find that you date the same kind of men, but you're expecting that one day the same kind of men, one of them will want to marry you. Those are the things that we need to think about. Your time will come. But my question is that what are you doing in the meantime when you're waiting for your time? Are you throwing yourself and living your life without purpose, without intention? Because you have given up on yourself, you feel that things will just happen automatically. That career that you want, that position that you want, in the meantime, are you studying? In the meantime, are you networking? Wherever that you are. In the meantime, are you building relationships in the workplace? In the meantime, are you getting to know the environment of your organization and the political environment of your organization? Because sometimes we want some things in the organization that we work for, without analyzing how things are done, without analyzing. It took me I'm someone who's very opinionated, and I say my feelings and everything. I'm not disrespectful. No one will say I've disrespected them. It's few, and if I've done that, it was not intentional. But one thing I learned late is that sometimes I just have to keep quiet and walk away. Sometimes the people who make decisions are the ones you are pissing them off. Let me tell you something. In every situation, you need to analyze the environment. It doesn't mean that you're an ice boy. You don't have to be an ice boy for people to see your value. You don't have to be a baby for people to see your value. But you analyze the situation and environment. You use it to an advantage. But the problem is that most of us, because we are outspoken, we end up not knowing when to speak and not to keep quiet. Whereas there's a time where you have to empower yourself and do the best that you can when you are waiting for your time, and also talking to the right people. Some of you may be struggling not having kids, and you are crying wherever that you are because you don't have children. But the question is that in the meantime, if you have not made peace that you want to have kids, you really, really feel that you need kids, what are you doing in the meantime? Are you just sitting there crying? Or you are praying, or you are doing something about it? Your time is coming. The issue of you already chosen a partner, and the partner is a wrong partner. One thing I can tell you, stop praying for a partner who make decisions that doesn't serve you. Pray for yourself. Pray for yourself to be happy. If you have children, pray for yourself to be able to raise your children. I'm not going to tell you to leave your partner. That's not my place. But the prayer of going to God and praying about a partner who's cheating, or a partner who keeps on saying I'm sorry, or a partner who is irresponsible, that is a fruitless prayer. because God is a God who gives us free will. He gives us free will to make choices. Pray for you to have wisdom. Pray for yourself to have peace. Pray for yourself that when you're with that man, even when you're sleeping, he gives you peace that surpasses everything. Pray that while you are there with that man and you are raising your kids, he's doing whatever that he's doing, you are that woman who will make sure that your kids have developed, and even yourself. Your time is coming, but sometimes your time, it is when it's coming is determine what to do while you are there. Some of you are always complaining about the bad friends that you have. You complain about the friends who are not loyal. But the question is that, have you asked yourself the decision that you make when you are choosing the friends? Are you the kind of person that you can't live alone, or you feel you want to be with a group of people? And sometimes we need to let go of friends that we've known for so many years, because those are the friends that will pull us down. Those are the friends who will be telling the world about your issues, because they're the ones who know you in and out. Sometimes not totally, but they're the ones who will be feeding the enemy the information. So you go on sulking and everything. Some of you, you are so overwhelmed that you have mental issues. I think most of us, we have mental issues, even though some take medication, some don't take medication. The question, and you are so stressed that you have tried this medication, you have tried this method and everything. I think you just need to breathe and not be all over the place, and be calm, and feel yourself and find yourself within. Because I think sometimes we bring so much commotion in our lives by not wanting to be still. When you feel that you are not okay and you want to go to Spanban, you go to a prophet, you go to Nyanga, you go to a pastor, you go to a doctor, your time is coming. But what are you doing to prepare yourself while your time is coming? Sometimes our times get delayed by the decision that we make and the mindset that we have while we are waiting. You know, it's so funny that we laugh at the Israelites, that the trip which was supposed to have taken them 14 days, if I'm not mistaken, from Egypt to Canaan, it took them, was it 140 days, 140 years? I stand to be corrected, Vasalan. Because they didn't have time to listen. They didn't have time when God was speaking to them. God was so ready for them to get there by 14 days. But within a short space of time, they had messed up. They had sabotaged themselves so much. Your time is coming. You are struggling with your academics and everything. Just breathe and find ways that works for you. Ask yourself, what is it that you are passionate about? It's not everyone who has to go to school. It's not everyone who has to be an academic. There are people who didn't excel in being academics, but they excel so much in arts, in business, in everything. Your time is coming. But like I said, what do you do when you're waiting for your time to arrive? Are you going to be the instrument for you to delay it? Are you going to sabotage it by the decision that you make? Are you going to sabotage it by the actions that you take? Are you going to sabotage it by the mentality that you have? What are you doing while you're waiting? Nothing's ever permanent in life. No pain is ever permanent. No struggle is ever permanent. No challenges is ever permanent. If anything's ever permanent, you need to ask yourself, what is wrong? God doesn't love other people more and he loves others less. He doesn't have favorite, and never believe that God's got favorite kids. He doesn't. He loves us both. But what makes the difference between me and you is that me, I'll sabotage myself. Me, I'll put myself in a position that won't be favorable for my time. When my destiny is here, I'll make decisions that will make my destination to be longer. Your time is coming. It is definitely coming. Believe that. But it's up to you. Yes, God is He's a powerful God. He can change anything. But He's a God of free will. And I'm going to repeat what I said before. God never put time frame on when we can be something better. God never put age when we can do better. God never limited us to say by this you can't do this, by then you can't do that. Sorry guys for the noise. You know when you stay next to the main road. I love the story of the Israelites when they were in Babylon. God blessed them even when they are still in Babylon. I love it, and I think I've repeated it several times. He blessed them. So God is not determined by location. It's not determined by the conditions and the factors. He's determined also by us listening to Him and being wise. And let me tell you, it's only when you're older, when you fully understand that the wise thing you can do is to fully understand God and follow Him and obey Him. And when you follow His ways, everything will fall unto you. That means also wisdom. That also means that insight. That also means intelligence. That also means humbleness. That also means for you to see things that other people cannot see. That means for you to see, not to be intimidated by others, because you know who you are in your totality and you understand who you are, and you don't compare yourself to the next person. The way God is, He can change somebody's situation now just like that in a second. That's why today somebody can be a CEO, tomorrow they are nothing. That's why today somebody can have everything and tomorrow they have nothing. And somebody's can be nothing and they become something. Today you can have nothing and tomorrow you have everything that you ever thought of, even those you don't need. Your time is coming. But ask yourself, in the meantime, when you're waiting for your time, how are you using your time? When you're waiting for your time, we need to be like Jacob, who held on to the angel of God to say, I'm not going to let you go until you bless me. That is our right. It's our right for God to bless us. And you need to carry yourself and behave like it's your right. Let's stop this thing of behaving like we are orphans and we accept crumbs and we accept anything. Check on the decision that you make. You'll be crying, why God? I remember talking to a friend of mine. She said, but why God has done this? I can't say all the information because it will be like I'm talking people's tales. But she was just saying, but why God allowed me to be in this situation for twice in my life? I said, God was not part of that, baby girl. It's the decision that you made. It's the decisions that you made. He gave you free will. Let us not be desperate to get things and we end up taking decision and tomorrow we'll be blaming God. When I'm saying that, I'm speaking to myself. I'm not excluding myself to what I'm saying. God is not a God of desperation, and God doesn't work in a place where there's desperation. He works in a place where there's faith and we're obedient and we trust Him. What are you doing with your time while you're waiting for Him? Your time is coming. I hope you're going to have a blessed day. It is raining. It is, it's wet. I know it made a lot of loss. And let's pray for those who have lost their loved ones. Let us pray that even this vaccine that is coming is going to work so that our people can be saved. Let us not go to unnecessary place, and love yourself more. And when you love yourself more, you'll be able to love your neighbor. And you'll be able to love God, because you cannot love yourself. You cannot love yourself and not love your neighbor, and you love God. It's not possible. So ask yourself the decision that you make daily, your mental state, the way you approach things, the way you do things. Are you acting out of love, or are you acting out of desperation? Just love yourself a little bit more. Remember that. Love you. Bye.